And we are live. Welcome into the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast morning show, our Friday edition for Friday, April 8th, 2022. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley of Burleyman Gaming on Twitch. Good morning to you, Burley. How you doing?
Doing good.
Happy
How
Friday.
are you, Expat?
I'm tired. I'm doing
First
good.
day back to work, drained.
Yeah, just drained, man. I had to get up really early today, so to go back. But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. So, all the kids, they're all, they're all Genki. Genki means, good spirits and happy and stuff. So, But this is and it was a beautiful day out here today too. So really sunny and it's supposed to be really warm this coming weekend here in Japan. I mean, here in Tokyo area, it's supposed to get to be, I think on Sunday, like 26 degrees. Yeah. So, and the cherry blossoms are coming out now too. So, this is cherry blossom season in Japan,
Oh, nice.
So a lot of people and their families or coworkers, they go and they have what's called hanamin, which is they'll sit underneath a cherry blossom tree and have like a picnic and like drink a lot and just have fun and talk with their friends and family or relatives and things like that. So it's definitely hanamin season. Of course, people are taking all the precautions and wearing masks and all of that, but still, I mean, the tradition continues. So do you have anything like that in Canada?
No.
No.
Or at least not in my neck of the woods.
No, okay.
You could have that in other provinces, but
do you, close to where you live, do you have any cherry blossom trees?
Well, you might have some because we have like the one like garden center place. You may have some there. But
garden center place. That's good, Burley. That's good.
No. What do you call it? Arboretum.
Right.
Yeah, you might have some of those there.
Okay, so I can tell I'm not talking to the biggest nature lover here. So, all right. No, anyway,
I like walking, going out in it, but I'm not. Right. I don't know everything.
I'm just teasing you, Burley. Okay, so in today's morning show, we're going to talk about BAFTA. If any of you know what that is, that was another Game Awards show, and we're going to talk about BAFTA and some of the winners. Former PlayStation boss reveals some things that he remembered about E3, some of his of his time as the boss of PlayStation. We're going to talk about that. Activision Blizzard's in the news again, as well as Riot Games. We're going to be talking about those two stories as well. So, Burley, get the coffee ready. It's Friday. Let's get to it.
Brewing.
All right, we will be back right after this. Okay, so Returnal, Burley. Returnal wins Best Game at BAFTA 2022 Awards. And you would think that the awards shows for 2022 would kind of be later in the year or at the end of the year or the announcements would be next year. But yeah, it's just there's too many Game Awards shows. But anyway, we got this other one here, BAFTA, which is, of course, the British Academy Games Awards. Okay. And it was held in the UK, of course. And the nominees for Best Game were Deathloop, Forza Horizon 5, Inscription, It Takes Two, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Returnal. And, of course, Returnal wins. So I was surprised at this. I thought it would be It Takes Two again. But it seems to be they picked Why do you think they picked Returnal here?
That British game reviewers like it hard, like their roguelikes. Or they maybe just they want to be different.
Yeah,
who the hell knows? But it's not like Returnal is a bad game. It is a great game. Yeah, it's just really like you have to like the roguelikes and you have to have the patience for something like that. Right. Whereas some of these other games that they were nominated and that won in other award shows were more accessible if you don't have the needing to have all that patience and all that.
Right. Well, some of the other categories, for example, the nominees for British game, the winner was Forza Horizon 5. That's kind of interesting. Yeah. And best animated game, of course, went to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So Ratchet and Clank,
yay!
Getting some love there. Artistic achievement, the winner was The Artful Escape. That was an interesting one, yeah. So, yeah. Audio achievement, The Artful Escape again, and debut game went to Toem. Yeah, so that was.
Oh, and they give you the little screenshots there on the webpage of Toem, and it looks interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little black and white thing there, but evolving game, No Man's Sky. So that was another, and that game is pretty popular out in the UK as well. So No Man's Sky. Family game went to Chicory, A Colorful Tale.
Yeah, not heard of that one. To be completely honest.
Game Beyond Entertainment, Before Your Eyes. It's another one. Yes, I've never heard of that one either. And then, of course, game design went to Inscription. Yeah. But there was a pretty big mix here. So multiplayer game went to It Takes Two. So that's no surprise there. I mean, that was in there. So another awards show, and congratulations to Returnal for winning the game best game of the year.
So. There are two other things I want to kind of touch on here. Like technical achievement, Ratchet won, which was nice to see. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, in most of the categories, what game that was in all the other award shows didn't really show up here? Give you a hint. It's from a company I'm not buying games from no more.
It's from Capcom, huh?
Yeah.
What game is it? Resident Evil. Yeah, Resident Evil Village. Yeah.
Yeah, it only shows up in like technical achievement on this list.
Yeah.
From what I remember seeing.
Yeah.
Oh, and performer and supporting role. But,
yeah.
But it's kind of, the British didn't find that game as well as people over here and all the other award shows. Kind of makes it interesting to see.
Yeah. So, but I agree with you. I think the British, they love their roguelites. So, Returnal, good old Returnal winning it. Yeah. Hey, you know what's going to win next year? Obviously, Elden Ring is going to win everything next year. Watch. It's going to dominate the BAFTA awards next year. Elden Ring is going to win everything, probably.
Yeah. You have a good shot of being right on that, but you never know.
You never know. I mean, not everything, but I mean, I'll bet you 100 cases of spiritual opium right now that the best game of the BAFTA 2023 is going to be Returnal. Not Returnal, I'm sorry. Elden Ring, So...
you never know. Still remember, there is still God of War Ragnarok, as they're saying, for the end of year.
Yeah, and then of course there's Starfield too. So
Starfield.
Yep. Okay, Burley. So another awards show. So we get another.
I thought you'd like it just because I saw that and I was like, Returnal won Game of the Year. I'm like, okay, this is different. We got. Figured we'd talk about it and have some fun with that.
Yeah, this is probably much bigger on the UK side, but good on those awards, and congratulations to Returnal for winning the best game. All right, Burley, it's time to get the drone flying, and then once the drone flight has finished, then we're going to go on to our next story. So, you got the controller ready?
I got the drone.
All right, so we'll be back right after this. All right, this is from George Yang over at IGN. former PlayStation boss reveals his best and worst E3 moments at Sony. You know, before we go into this, I'm gonna give you my best E3 moment, Burley. It was the very first E3. A guy named Steve Race. He was a marketing director for PlayStation.
Oh,
you know, they were in it was 1995, and they had the the new PlayStation, and they were going up against Sega, and Sega was introducing, I think it was the Saturn that they were introducing then. And
Saturn, it would have been Saturn.
The Saturn, and Tom Kalinske had gone on stage and he was talking about the Saturn and everything, and he was like, saying it was like $400, blah blah blah, and then Steve Race is next, and PlayStation comes up next, and he just walks on stage and he doesn't even make a presentation. He just says $300.
It was a Sony PlayStation $299 or something like that. It was
$299.
Yeah, yep. that was a great, and just walks right off the stage.
Just walks right off the stage, man. I mean, that was probably one of the greatest moments ever when it comes to just you talk about the slap in the face of Will Smith and that. I mean, it's like just imagine that Steve Race was Will Smith going up there and slapping Chris Rock, which was Tom Kalinske, just and boom, and that started the great success for PlayStation, and spelled kind of the end of Sega, unfortunately, but that was the beginning of the end. But anyway, so former US PlayStation CEO Jack Tretton certainly had his share of ups and downs at Sony. While his tenure was filled with more highs than lows, PlayStation certainly had its tough moments between 1995 and 2014. In a new interview with Axios, Tretton shared some of those moments, recalling some of his best and worst moments from E3. They include the PlayStation 4 reveal, which managed to deal a devastating blow to the hopes of the Xbox One before the generation even begun.
And as you were talking about your favorite moments,
yep,
we're just about to come to one of my favorite moments of all time here in the next little paragraph here.
Okay. The reveal included the, quote, official PlayStation used game instructional video, end quote, which mocked Microsoft's DRM policy of restricting used games, which the company eventually reversed. The PlayStation 4 also managed to undercut the Xbox One by around $100 due to Xbox's console including the Kinect.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, that was such a blunder on Xbox and Microsoft's part to that Kinect, and then it's like you always have to be online, and things like that. That was
they just shot themselves in the foot, and I don't know. Did you ever watch that video?
I probably did, but it was so long ago I don't remember it word by word.
Well, it's just funny because it just takes two guys, and it's like, here's how used games work on the PS4. One guy gives the other guy the game and says, "Here you go, play."
Yeah.
Says that's how he says it's so simple or something like that, and it's just like it's just taking a thing. Turn-based Carl, our other co-host, coming in, chiming in. It's such an arrogant video. And you know what? But it could be it was an arrogant video. At the same time, you had a company making a giant misstep.
Yeah.
They're gonna take a shot. They're all gonna do it. Let's be honest. And they were not. Microsoft was doing, like, I don't know why they decided on that to just shoot themselves in the foot so badly there.
Yeah, and at that time, they didn't have people like Phil Spencer in charge at that moment too. So
God no, I forget who was in charge at that time.
Yeah, but that was a big mistake for Xbox, and then it just spelled the meteoric rise of the PlayStation 4. I mean, and everything that it had going for it. So. Whereas now I kind of think it's kind of, the tide is turning, and, with Phil Spencer in charge. So we'll see. But anyway,
Carl there. MS was just ahead of the curve. Now most people are full digital. I agree most people are most digital, but at the same time, doing the whole used locking, you can't defend that. And the always online I can understand to a point with so many games.
Yeah.
But the used locking, I was like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the things too. I mean, I don't think recently, Phil Spencer and them, like during the E3s, they really haven't taken many direct shots at PlayStation, when it comes to their presentations, whereas, it's like, anyway. Trenton says here, quote, I have a lot of friends at Microsoft now, and I had a lot of friends then, and I wasn't necessarily looking to do it at their expense. I was just feeling really good about it, end quote. So referring to the, the DRM policy thing. So, yeah. But anyway, that's pretty interesting. So, yeah. But, like I said, my favorite E3 moment was the first one. So
yeah, that was
$2.99. It's like that's the best thing. $2.99, and it's like and then after that, it's like Tom Kalinske, poor Tom Kalinske. He's sitting there and he's just like, it's like, he was like, oh man, and it's like that's the problem back then was they had to answer to Sega of Japan. And Sega of Japan out here, they really were trying to push the Saturn out, whereas they could have really got more out of the Genesis at that point, And Tom Kalinske was like, let's wait a while, But they're like, no, get it out now. So they wouldn't listen to the U.S. division of Sega, so it was just like, do it now, do it. So. Okay, Burley. Yeah. Are you all right, Burley? You seem a little quiet today out there.
No, I read Carl's stuff there. It's like, I don't know how to say this. So, but Carl, they didn't block used games. They just never revealed how it would work at the time. And they were blocking. I got to disagree on that, in my opinion. But we also, his other comment here, also people now willing to choose not be able to share games by going digital. Yeah, I get that, the whole going digital stuff. But let's not go down this whole rabbit hole, because there's some huge blunders here in the rest of this article. Yeah, that Sony did.
Yeah. So, but times weren't always good for Trenton. I'm going to go ahead and read the rest of it here. In 2011, PlayStation suffered a 23-day PlayStation Network outage due to a hack that left some 77 million accounts exposed. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, luckily I wasn't affected by that. So PlayStation endured heavy criticism for the event and wound up offering 30 days of free PSN to all members, among other make goods. Trenton opened E3 by apologizing for the event. Quote, while that was necessarily a tough message to deliver, I thought it had to be said, end quote. So, elsewhere, Trenton reflected on some of his other projects at Sony, which he felt were, quote, orphaned a little bit, end quote, and weren't given the necessary attention they needed. He cited PlayStation Vita's low sales and the slow adoption of PlayStation's virtual reality headset as examples of such projects. So, quote, there were certainly technologies that I thought were good, but just didn't have the level of support they needed, end quote, he explains, talking about how some of them lacked the marketing budget they needed and other support. Yeah. So, I think the Vita was another example. That was another unfortunate misstep, because they could have done a lot of great things with the Vita, but they just didn't. They didn't market it well enough, and then they just, neglected it, basically.
Oh yeah, no, that they botched that. That was, I don't know what they were doing with that.
Trenton left Sony in 2014 and is now part of the Interactive Gaming Ventures, a fund working closely with indies with a mission to acquire an independent studio. While acquisitions are a hot venture as of late, with both Xbox and PlayStation announcing steady acquisitions like Bethesda, Activision Blizzard and Bungie, Trenton doesn't see this trend as a negative. He's currently looking to buy $1 billion game company himself. So anyway, good luck with that.
Nice. Must be nice to just be like, I'm looking to buy a company for $1 billion. Must be nice.
Yeah, must be really nice. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we're going to get to our next story. So let's talk a little bit about Activision Blizzard, Burley, right after this. All right. So Burley, just think if you were a game tester and you worked at Activision Blizzard, you're gonna have a nice day. You're gonna be in luck. So Activision Blizzard is giving 1,000 game testers full-time jobs and pay bumps. Nearly 1,100 temp game testers getting full-time jobs with benefits. This is from Jay Peters over at The Verge. So Activision Blizzard has just announced that all temporary and contingent QA workers, quality assurance workers of its Activision publishing and Blizzard divisions are being converted to full-time employees, meaning nearly 1,100 temp game testers are getting full-time jobs with benefits. They'll be making higher wages too, with a minimum hourly rate of $20. So here's the full statement from Jessica Taylor, Activision Blizzard's Vice President of Corporate Communications. Across Activision Blizzard, we're bringing more content to players across our franchises than ever before. As a result, we are refining how our teams work together to develop our games and develop the best possible experience for our players. We have ambitious plans for the future, and our quality assurance team members are a critical part of our development efforts. Therefore, today we announced the conversion of all US-based temporary and contingent QA team members at Activision Publishing, AP, and Blizzard, nearly 1,100 people in total, to permanent full-time employees starting July 1st. Additionally, we are increasing the minimum hourly rate for these team members to $20 an hour, or more effective April 17th. These employees also will be eligible to participate in the company's bonus plan and will have access to full company benefits. So, this change follows a process that began last year across AP and Blizzard of converting temporary and contingent employees, including 500 at AP's studios, to permanent full-time employees. The change follows significant worker activism after Raven Software, an Activision studio known for its work on the Call of Duty series, announced in December that it was going to lay off QA contractors. Some workers went on strike in protest, and some have since created a union, the Game Workers Alliance, which it formed with Communications Workers of America. However, Raven QA testers will not be receiving raises, according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier. Activision Blizzard confirmed this to The Verge and shared an email from Raven Software Vice President Brian Raffel with context. Quote, due to our legal obligations under the National Labor Relations Act, we are prohibited from making new kinds of compensation changes at Raven at this time. So anyway, Burley, what do you think of this? So Activision Blizzard QA testers, this is pretty good news for them, eh?
It's nice to see, but you know why they're doing this, right?
Oh yeah.
They're wanting people to stay because before their buyout, this company was a dumpster fire. People were leaving. There's lawsuits up. There's so many lawsuits going on. So they are just trying to keep people. They are trying to keep people because I'm sure Microsoft has a thing in their deal, like if you lose X amount of workforce before we officially take over, the deal falls through. So they, like the higher ups at Activision, are being like, okay, we need to keep people. We need to get people. Do what we can. Get our payout. Get our money. Yeah. Like I'm glad to see these people are getting pay bumps and some that are on temp jobs getting full time. That is great.
Yeah. Well, and I think the protests had some things to do with this as well. I mean, the pressure that was put on them, and then of course the unionization as well. So yeah, good on them for at least doing this. So that's cool that some of these QA testers are now going to be full-time employees that actually have benefits, and they get bonuses and things like that. So yeah, that's awesome, man. If I was like 20 years old again, that's definitely what I would want to do. I'd want to be like a game tester,
Tester, yes. Developer.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, if I was like 18 or so again, yeah, definitely, man. That would be cool. Get paid $20 an hour just to play games and test them. Yeah. But yeah.
Depends which games.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta test the new Bethesda bug version. Start feeling
Cyberpunk 2077 over. Yeah.
Oh God, no.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna get to our last story about Riot Games right after this. All right, so Riot Games reportedly does something kind of stupid. Drops masking and vaccination requirements ahead of return to office order. So I don't know about Canada, Burley, and like Japan is now starting to lift the ban on people coming into the country from I think it's 160 countries now. So more and more people are going to flood into Japan for obviously for like sightseeing and things like that, which is okay. But I mean, there's probably going to be some people out there that are not going to follow protocols, and who knows? Yeah, I'm just speculating, but then probably COVID cases are going to start spiking again. Who knows? But
oh yeah.
So then we have these video game companies and these developers and Riot Games. They're going to drop their masking and vaccination requirements here ahead of the return to office order. So it's like we're getting it to the tail end of COVID now. So yeah, let's just drop all the restrictions and everything. It's only going to be like the flu and all now, So, and if you got a vaccination, that's great and all, but it's like you don't have to tell us. You don't have to prove that you have a vaccination anymore. So I mean, yeah, this is kind of interesting. Ash Parrish over at The Verge. I'm going to read some of it now. So another major California-based video game developer is initiating a return-to-office order. According to a report from Vice, League of Legends developer Riot Games announced it will be requiring employees to return to its LA headquarters while also eliminating vaccine and masking requirements. Riot is also no longer requiring regular COVID-19 testing for employees who have not shown proof of vaccination. The Vice report spoke to several current and former Riot employees who expressed anger that the new policy would endanger employees' health. Quote, "It's a foolish and pointless policy being done at a poor time and being handled without real guarantee of our safety," end quote, one anonymous employee said to Vice. However, despite these concerns, Riot is acting in accordance with state and federal COVID-19 guidelines. California recently dropped its indoor masking mandate, requiring proof of vaccinations or a negative COVID test, and other states are following suit. Last week, Activision Blizzard came under fire after a leaked email to employees from Chief Operating Officer Brian Bulatao revealed that it, too, would be returning to the office without vaccination requirements. After a storm of backlash on social media, including a virtual walkout, Activision Blizzard amended its decision, allowing individual studios to make their own vaccination and masking determinations. So, Burley, how is this going to affect Riot?
Besides them all coming back and the whole vaccination thing, there's one huge thing. Remember, the guy, they had the giant sexual harassment thing? The one guy grabbing people and everything and farting in their face and all that? He's still at Riot Games. And guaranteed they're going to let him still be at the office and all that.
Yeah.
And it happened how many times? Even though they had this lawsuit, they still kept his ass. So he's feeling pretty, I'm sure he's feeling pretty confident. So if I was working for Riot, I'd be seeing the writing on the walls and be turning in my notice and just looking right now at some of these other studios.
Yeah. I'm just wondering how many other studios are gonna do this as well. I mean, they're gonna start thinking.
I think more studios are kind of just waiting to see how others do it, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, because I can understand there's a lot of developers that are working from home and stuff, and they're just getting so anxious, and they're like, we just really want to get back to the office now. It's been almost 2 years. It's like working from home all this time. They want to do it and all. But I still think there should be some like protocols. I mean, if you're going to work in the office, wear a mask at least, So, but I mean, I think, this is a little bit, premature to be doing stuff like this yet. That's just my opinion, but, So, and I can understand those anonymous sources that are saying, hey, this is kind of detrimental to the health of the people that are working here. So, we shall see. But anyway, Riot dropping the masking and vaccination protocols and requirements. So, all right. Okay. So I think that's going to be it for the morning show, but I have an announcement.
Ooh.
So episode 81 of the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. Burley and I are going to be recording that tomorrow, and our topic of the show is going to be Unreal Engine 5. Of course, that was one of the biggest news stories of this past week. Obviously, the new Tomb Raider game is going to be developed on Unreal Engine 5. So our discussion is going to be what it means for the future of gaming and what we like to see with Unreal Engine 5 and how games are going to look moving forward. And then we're also going to probably be talking about, our favorite franchises and what franchises do you think would benefit the most from using Unreal 5. So that's going to be our topic of the show for this coming episode of the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. We will be recording it tomorrow, and it will go up to our Patreon, of course, at patreon.com/thearena_podcast in early access in audio and video for a day in early access. And then it will go, of course, to our YouTube channel. So at the Arena Productions, the link is below there. Stay tuned and check that out when it becomes available. And also, Burley and I, we're also going to be doing a couple of extra takes. We're deciding, of course, we're going to be doing Horizon Forbidden West, but we're probably going to be doing an Elden Ring extra take earlier. So that's probably going to go up first before Horizon Forbidden West. But we're looking forward to doing that for you. And then, of course, our next episode of Star Trek Picard, season 2, episode 6 reactions. Our spoiler reactions are going to be coming. We're going to be recording that this coming Monday. So stay tuned for that as well. It'll go up to Patreon first in early access, and then once it goes public, we'll put it on our YouTube channel at the Arena Productions. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, Burley, talking about Unreal Engine 5 and some of the other our rapid fire news stories of the week, and just some other little snippets of our opinions on that. So looking forward to it.
That's gonna be fun, and especially some of the other stories that we're not revealing at this time.
That's right.
Sure.
And there will be a post show, and we'll be talking about some other topics during the post show as well. So stay tuned for those. So all right, so that's going to do it for this Friday edition of the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast morning show. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley Burlerman Gaming on Twitch. So we hope you have a great weekend, and all of you, of course, Turn-Based Carl, our other co-host on the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. We want to thank you for coming into the chat and being with us today, man. So thank you so much. And then, of course, all of you that watch later on in video on demand, we appreciate you all. And thank you so much for supporting us and watching our content. So any last words, Burley? Anything you want to say?
Just thank you for the support. And thank you, everyone, especially on the video demand. on YouTube side. We really do appreciate it. We're getting closer and closer every day to the YouTube partner.
Yeah. So thank you so much for that. All right, and that's going to do it for the morning show. We will see you again next Monday for the next edition of the morning show. So until then, have a great weekend and have a great rest of your morning wherever you are. Okay? So take care, everyone. Peace out. Have a great weekend. Hey, Burley, kill the feed.
With pleasure. Yeah.